Good evening, friends. In this video, we will learn at least 100 more words. In this file, I had selected the words which are coming very frequently in all the government exams, be it in RRB, PO, SSC, etc. I have selected synonyms. The first word is a given word, and we have to pick synonyms among the remaining four. Right. These are all questions that are coming very frequently in the government exams. That's how I have picked them. Let's start one by one. Adversity. Adversity means, in all these words, crisis, misfortune, failure, helpless, these are all bad words only, non lucky words only. But there's a slight difference. We should understand what exactly this is. Adversity is a crisis, misfortune, failure, or helpless. We will not be happy with any one of these, right? Adversity. Adversity means it's misfortune. Something bad happened because of misfortune. Crisis is also something bad happened, but it's not necessarily because of fate or luck. It is a situation of great difficulty, crisis that has come up, not necessarily because of crisis comes up, not necessarily because of this, because of misfortune. For example, early wickets, losing early wickets in a match, that leads to a crisis situation. It is not necessarily misfortune. Whereas misfortune is related to fortune. It is bad luck. Failure is always not necessarily because of bad luck. It can be because of skill, it can be because of hard work, etc. Failure is lacking success. Helplessness. Helplessness is lacking help. It is not necessarily misfortune. It's not necessarily adversity. Helplessness is people we don't have help. We feel weak. That is helpless. So in this case, for adversity, the closest synonym is misfortune. Right? Now let's get to the next word. Candid. Candid means very frank, very open. Candid, very informal. Be candid with me means be open with me. You don't need to fear anything. Right? That is candid. It is taken from, the source is from Latin. Latin candidus means white. White is plain, right? It's open. There's nothing to hide. You can remember that way. Candid means it is more like white. Rude. Rude is not related to candid, right? Rude is impolite. You are offensive. Impertinent. Impertinent is disrespectful. This is also not related to candid. Blunt. Blunt. Blunt remark. It is not sharp. It is not pointed. Blunting, making blunt is less sharp. The knife is blunt. That means it's useless. It doesn't cut vegetables properly. Knife has become blunt. Right? So frank is quite open. So candid, the closest synonym in this list is frank. It is not rude, because rude is impolite. You can be openly rude, but it is not candid. Impertinent. Impertinent also. Someone might be disrespectful openly, but that is not. Candid is kind of first word. You are open. You are frank. Openly rude, openly impertinent. These are not synonyms. Ephemeral. Ephemeral means it stays only for a small time. Ephemeral fashion. That means the fashion stays very small time. It changes, which is short living. Ephemeral is short living. Exactly. Unreal. Unreal is not related to ephemeral. Some things which are unreal things may be short lived, but unreal is different. It is not real. Ephemeral is about ephemeral wishes. That means your wish will not stay for long. Ephemeral difficulties. That means these are difficulties which will come and go. Life is ephemeral. Means life is short. Life is not permanent. Myth. Myth. Myth is 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 a fictitious kind of story. Mythology is traditional stories, right? From myth only mythology has got derived. This is fiction. This is not fact. So generally, these myths stay long. It is not related ephemeral, but myths generally stay long also. They stay for generations. Short living is definitely a synonym for ephemeral. Artificial. Artificial is not real. Unreal and artificial. These two can be synonyms, but for ephemeral, it is about short living. Hemera. Hemera in Greek is a day, something which stays only for a day. That's how the word was derived. Stubborn. Stubborn means very rigid. A stubborn person. He doesn't change. He doesn't listen. That fellow is stubborn. Easy is not a synonym. Stubborn persons are difficult to deal. Easy are easy to deal. They are not difficult to deal. So it is not easy. Obstinate. Obstinate is again stubborn. Obstinate person. They have their own opinion. They don't change their opinion. They are firm in their own opinion. Despite you giving advice or your opinion, it doesn't matter. Obstinate is a clear synonym of stubborn. Willing. Willing is ready to give, ready to undertake, ready to take consent. So easy and willing can become synonyms. But for stubborn, these are not. For stubborn, obstinate is a synonym. Pliable. Pliable means easy to bend. Like a wire is pliable. Means the wire can be easily bent. The pliable, willing, easy are of the same category. But for stubborn, it is obstinate. Obstinacy. Obstino. It is coming from Latin word obstino, which means persist. This fellow keeps on persisting with the same thing. He doesn't listen to others' opinions. Next word. Prognosis. Prognosis is generally used for decide for disease. Prognosis of disease. Let's say someone has got cancer. Identifying the cancer. Identification of the disease is prognosis. Forecasting that. Identification is normal identification. Okay, act of identifying that or proving that something is there. Forecasting is to tell about future, to predict about future. You estimate it beforehand. Forecasting weather. Say for example, whether tomorrow will rain, tomorrow will be sunny day, etc. That is forecasting weather. Scheme. Scheme is a plan. Scheme of things. It is an order. Right. The scheme of the timetable, syllabus, etc. This is properly a plan. Prognosis. You see the gna here. Gna. This word has come from Sanskrit. Gnanam. Prognosis is future gnanam. Pro gnanam. This is how this word was derived. This has gone into Greek and Latin. Gnanam. For example, this gna has gone into other words also. Cognizant, recognition. So recognition is also involves gnanam. That gna has gone from Sanskrit to Greek and Latin. Right. So prognosis is actually predicting predicting the disease that is prognosis. Something is happening inside and this can lead to some other disease. That is future prediction. So that's why it is forecast. Though identification and forecast are nearly close to prognosis, in this case forecast would be the right synonym. Next word. Engender. Engender means giving rise to or produce a feeling. It is related to, remember the gene here. You see the gene here. Gene is related to birth, right? Engender. Engender is that's all giving birth to some feeling. Confound. Confound is actually confusing people. It is taken from Latin. Con plus fuss. Fuss is mixing. Confuse. Con is together. Together mix up. That means it is you mix everything. You confuse. Right? That is confound. Suffer. Suffer is a painful experience, right? Suffering is a painful experience. So it is not related to engender. Engender you have to see some word which is related to kind of birth. Sacrifice. Sacrifice is giving up something. That's also not related to engender. Begetting means giving birth, begetting a son. That means giving birth to a son, begetting a child. So, engender is related to beget. Synonym is beget. Next, glib. Glib. Glib means speaking fluently. Glibber. Speaking fluently without any difficulties. But glib speaker is generally negative word, which means is not very sincere, right? But is a very smooth speaker. You'll not realize the sincerity immediately. But glib speaker means spoken very quickly, very frequently, very smoothly, right? Smooth. It can be used in other places also, but smooth is definitely a synonym. Indifferent, because well, let's look at the other words also. Indifferent, we had discussed. In means negative, different. Indifferent. Indifferent means there is no difference. That person doesn't differentiate between good and bad, or right and wrong, or whatever. Indifferent can be used in a good word also or a bad word also. If you are indifferent to feelings, in a way it is good because you don't get emotionally attached. But your friends might complain, right? He is indifferent to things. A wife might complain about the husband that he is indifferent to her feelings. Right? Indifferent means the feelings don't impact him. He doesn't show interest. He is more like a saint. That is indifferent. Gainful. Gainful means lucrative. Gainful. It involves some benefit. It involves some gain. Right? That is gainful. Rough. Rough is the negative of smooth. Smooth versus rough. That is which is not smooth. Right. So glib, it is definitely not rough. So in all these things, glib implies smooth. The synonym is that is closest to glib in this set of words is smooth. Again, I am taking all these words from the previous question papers of various government exams. So in this context, you should understand, you should try to identify which are words are coming close to the given word. That's why it is very important to understand the words and their roots and their usage detail. Right. Otherwise, you will not be able to identify what exactly is the synonym because a lot of words are very close. Next, taciturn. Taciturn. Taciturn is related to tacit. Taciturn means saying very little. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad. Right. If you are saying very small things, if you are giving only yes or no answers, her replies are taciturn. That means she is not very interested in him. She is giving one word replies. Yes, no, like that. That is taciturn. Reserve. Reserve is also kind of taciturn only. He is reserved. That means that means he is not very open. But here you see self-restraints, reticence, lack of audibility. So he is not very friendly. That is being staying reserved. Okay. Hesitation. Hesitation is different from taciturn. Hesitation is they don't want to do things. They are hesitating. They are doubtful whether to do or not. That is hesitating. Changeableness. Changeableness is they can be changed. It has nothing to do with taciturn. It has nothing to do with speaking less or more. Hesitation also has nothing to do with speaking less or more. Reserve is speaking less because they are not very friendly. Okay. Dumbness. Dumbness has also got nothing to do. Dumbness means they are kind of dumb. Either they don't want to, they can't speak. It is their inability of not able to speak. It is not taciturn because they can't speak. That is dumbness. Or they are foolish also. Dumb is also used for foolishness. So dumb is though they won't speak It is not taciturn. It is their inability. Changeableness. Changeables is ability to change. It has nothing to do with they speaking less. They speaking less. Hesitation. Hesitation is they are confused. They don't have a clear opinion. They are doubtful. So in this case, for taciturn, the closest meaning is reserved. Apparel. Apparel means clothing. Appearance is how people appear. So clothing is definitely a synonym for apparel. It is apparel shop. That means it is a cloth shop, cloth showroom, apparel shop. Confidence has nothing to do with apparel. Okay, if you wear good clothes, you might get more confidence, or your appearance would be good when your apparel is good. But these are not synonyms. For good appearance, you should wear good clothes. For better confidence, you should wear better clothes. Right? Then manner. Your clothes reflect your manner. In that way, it is related, but the meaning is not related. Good manner means you should wear good clothes. Manner means in a way the way the things are done. So in this case, apparel, the synonym is clothing. Doleful. Doleful means full of grief. In this case, is colorful is happiness. Jovial is also happiness. Bright. Bright is also happiness. Mournful. Mournful is mournings for something. Mourning for some death. That is doleful. So mournful is the correct synonym here. Jovial. Jove is the Greek god for happiness. From Jove's name, jovial has been derived. So the belief is Jupiter, who are born under Jupiter, they are very jovial. Jove is related to Jupiter, as per astrology. As per Greek and Latin astrology, who are born under Jupiter, they are very jovial because Jupiter is very bright. In the sky also, Jupiter can be seen with lot of brightness. So they related who are born under Jupiter or who are born under Jove are very happy, very jovial, very merryful. Right? So dole means mournful. Remaining all three things colorful, jovial, bright, these are all happy moods. These are not sad moods. Efface. Efface means wipe out or rub. Wipe out is definitely a synonym. Weaken has nothing to do with efface. Weakening means to make someone weaker. Insult. You know insult. Insult is abusing someone, disrespecting someone. Right? Repair. Repair is to bring something into the good state, which has gone into a bad state. It is not wiping. Okay, so in this case, efface is the closest synonym is wipe out. Blith, blith is happy. Graceful is also happy. Joyous is also happy. Right? But joyous is happy. Giddy is dizzy. Is about when someone is done, they feel this. They might fall. That is speedy. Graceful. Graceful is elegance. The game of Federer, tennis of Federer is very graceful. That means it is very pleasing to eyes pleasing to see. So that way it gives happiness. But graceful means it is elegance. If you are really good at something, your work will become graceful. You are very good at chess, your game will look graceful. You are good at cricket, your game will look graceful. Right. That is very pleasing to eyes. Joyous. Joyous is actually cheerful happiness, full of joy. So for blith, the synonym is joyous. Errand. Errand. Earlier also we discussed night errand. Errands. They take messages. They do some missions. Those are errands. Foolishness is not related to errand. Foolish is who is not intelligent. Mission. Yes. This is related to errand. Right. Its mission is generally taken by a person or a group to do something. Right. Errand is also more or less the same thing. You are going on someone else's behalf. Okay. Mission is also going on someone else's behalf. Misadventure. Misadventure need not be errand. Misadventure and adventure has got failed. Okay. Some accident has happened. Misfortune. So that is not errand. You are not going on someone else. You are doing an adventure, but misadventure means something else happened. Error. Error is a mistake. It is not errand. So error and error both involve error. Error means to do mistake, but errand is not directly related to error in terms of meaning. Okay, though the derivation is has involved error in both cases. Okay, error means making mistakes. To err is human. That means making mistakes is human. But you should always learn from your mistakes. That is error. Next, ribald. Ribald means vulgar. It is disrespectful. Ribald comedy. That means vulgar comedy. More obscene comedy. Okay? Vulgar is definitely a synonym. Attractive is not ribald. Refined. Refined is polished, elegant. Right? That is more like graceful. Refined is graceful. Indifferent, we had discussed earlier. It is not showing any difference. So these words are not related to ribald. Ribald is vulgar. Pertinacious. Pertinacious is a stubborn person. Earlier also we had discussed. Stubborn. Defensive is not stubborn. Defensive is more like taking defense. Humble. Humble, humble upbringing or humble nature. That means they don't feel they are big. They don't show a lot of self-esteem. They are ground to the earth. That is humble. Determined. Determined is related to pertinacious because determined person he will not listen to other person. He has made up his mind and he'll be persistent. So pertinacious is related to determined. Delicate. Delicate means it can easily break. It is not pertinacious. Delicate person is not a determined person or a pertinacious person. Okay. Delicate means weak. So in this case, pertinacious. The answer is determined. Admit. Admit into IIT. Admit getting admission into IIT. Admit and admission means the institute has accepted your admission. So admit is accept. Decide is taking a decision. Realize is understanding what something has happened. Realization that is. Right? Realize is understanding clearly. Admit is accepting. So the closest synonym of admit is accept. It is not commit. Commit means you do something, commit a crime, or commit some act, etc. Decide, realize, accept, and commit. Admit is closely related to accept only. Accepting admission. Admit your fault. That means you are accepting the fault. Stayed. Stayed means very quiet and very steady. Depression. Depression is going into depression. Sedate. Sedate is going into calmness. Sedative drugs. What are sedative drugs? These drugs are generally given to make someone go into sleep, to make them feel calm and relaxed. That is sedative. Sedate. Sedate is tranquilness, peacefulness. So stayed and sedate, they both are related that way. Right? These are all stayed is also quiet and steady character. Sedate. Backward, going backward. Going backward versus forward. This has nothing to do with stayed. Dull. Dull is also not related to stayed. A steady character need not be dull character. Dull is not interesting. A steady character might be an interesting character also. So in this case, stayed and sedate are related. Sedatives are the ones that give us sleep. Some people might feel that sedate is related to sleep. No, it is related to calmness. Steady is related to calmness, steady character. The dictionary itself says sedate as synonym, right? All these meanings are taken from very famous dictionaries, be it Oxford, Webster, Longman, Collins, etc. Peril. Peril is danger. Perilous means full of danger. Perilous journey. That means full of danger. Anything can happen. Very dangerous journey. So dangerous is definitely a synonym. Talkative. That means who's fond of talking. Is not perilous. Someone who's talking more is not dangerous, right? He just talks. Agreeable. Agreeable is not dangerous. What is agreeable to you is pleasing to you. Agreeable person is a pleasing person. He is not a dangerous person. Uncertain. Uncertain times are hard times, definitely, but they are not dangerous times. Volatile times, uncertain times, ambiguous times. These are all hard times, definitely, but these are not dangerous. Uncertain, you are not very certain what will happen. But perilous is definitely dangerous. Perilous journey. That means you know that journey is dangerous. Okay. So in this case, perilous, the closest word is dangerous. Lavish. Lavish. Lavish way of living. That means spending a lot of money. Abundantly spending money. That is lavish way of living. Spending in large quantities. That is lavish. Being very generous. Okay. Profuse. Profuse is also lavish. Profuse is extravagant. That means plenty. Lavish is also plenty. Profuse is also plenty. Showy. Showy is you're showing more. It doesn't necessarily mean you have more. It is showing more. Right? That is showy. Gay. Gay means cheerful. They're happy. Carefree are also happy people. They don't necessarily are lavish people. With whatever little that person has, he can be carefree. He can be gay. He can be happy. But it need not be lavish. Lavish means lot of things are there. Okay? The large quantities. They are thoroughly enjoying money. That is lavish. Profuse is also the same thing. So in this case, profuse is the right word. Elicit. Elicit means elicit a response. That means make someone give the response. Elicit something from someone. That means with whatever measures that you have, you get some information from that person. Right. So that is extracting something either by force or by some other reason, extracting information from that person. That is elicit. Extract is the synonym. Induce. Induce is you persuade someone to do something. It is not elicit. It is not extracting. It is making someone do something. Induce labor. That means artificially inducing labor in a mother means mother is not able to naturally give birth. So labor is induced. Artificially she will be forced to give birth. She will be forced to push the child out of the womb. That is induce. Extract. Extracting information. Extract is by force or some other means. So elicit is directly related to extract. Divulging information is disclosing secret. It need not be by force. Anyone can disclose a secret. So extracting information is you taking the information out of someone. Divulging is that person himself naturally giving out the information. Instill. Instill courage or instill fear is putting in fear. Introducing a fear. Instill gradually putting in something. This is sending inside. Divulge is sending outside. Divulge a secret. Extract is also sending outside. Elicit is also sending outside. Induce is making someone do. So in this case, extract is the closest synonym. Grave. Grave. Grave means heavy. Grav. It is coming from grav. Grav means heavy. Gravity. Gravitational force. Grave is serious. It is heavy. Grave error means it's a big error. Formidable. Formidable is hard to overcome. It's a tough opponent. Formidable opponent. It's very difficult. It's a fearful opponent. Bitter. Bitter is not sweet. Bitter taste. You don't like a bitter argument or a bitter person. Okay, that person need not be a heavy person. You don't like him. Okay, that is bitter. Pregnant. Pregnant is nothing related to grave or something. Pregnant is about having child, having children. Solemn. Solemn is very serious, very dignified, very heavy. Solemn manners. That person is grave. Grave, sober, solemn. These are all synonyms. Solemn is a solid person. Okay. Grave. Grave is also a heavy person. Grave manners means the person is serious. Dud. Dud means useless. In slang, it's actually useless. So dud is a failure. A dud laptop means laptop is failed. Laptop has failed. It is useless. Or a counterfeit. Counterfeit is not the original, etc. So failure is the clear synonym. Foolishness. Foolishness is not the direct synonym. Dud means it is defective also. Failure is defective, right? Laptop failed means the laptop is defective. Sickness and negligence. These are not related to dud. Sickness is related to health, lacking health. Negligence is lacking proper care. Portray. Portray is describe in words. Portraying a picture. That means portraying the situation. That means you can describe the situation. That is describe in words. Communicate. Communicate is not necessarily portraying. Paint. Paint is about painting. Wall painting, oil painting, etc. The normal painting. Express. Express is related to portrayal. Express is also by words or gestures. You tend to say something. Portrayal is also saying something. Just describing words. So portray is related to express. It is related to draw, but draw is mostly drawing on paper or drawing with pen, with pencil, etc., etc. Drawing is also mean does also mean pulling. Okay, but expressing is the closest word for portray. Describing in words. Express is also describing in words. Then invidious. Invidious means we don't. It is causing anger, right? Causing resentment, causing anger, causing envy. Weak, weak people that doesn't cause you anger, right? Unpopular. Unpopular can lead to anger. He is not popular because he is disliked by people. That is invidious. It is closer to that. Flourish means growing well. Starve. Starve is not related to invidious. Starve is lacking food. Dying, dying by starving. That means they don't have food. They are very hungry. It is not related. Weak is also not related. Flourish is not related. Unpopular among these words is the closest. And unpopular judgment. That means the judgment is not liked by most of the people. Invidious. So when a judgment is unpopular, then this thing that will happen. Resentment or anger will happen. Right? Invidious is unpopular. Right? We have learnt another 125 words in this video. We will cover more words in the next video. Right.